Hello everyone, it's Nady, and today we'll be testing out the new Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette. As you fabulous people know, this is about the product, not the people behind it. Any tip you may have with them, please cast it away because this is a channel of positive energy. Okay? Thank you. Ooh, the bitch is excited! I have been all over doing simple but kind of neutral yet still a little bit of glam kind of looks, and I feel like this palette is gonna give me such a fucking makeup orgasm. Oh, and I don't really even know what the damn thing looks like. Like, I see pictures of deep berry shades right there, but usually the palette does not actually look that good. Ooh, but if it does, honey, grab me a change of underwear because I am ready. Anyways, clearly I am very excited to test this out today. I feel like the last palette I tried of Urban Decay's was like the Born to Run one, which I didn't dislike, but I definitely don't love it. Do I even still have that palette? Did I return it? Huh. Needless to say, I have not reached for the little bitch since reviewing it. But even though we have more than a literal fuck ton of red tone palettes out there, this still gives me feels. No clue why. Maybe it's the name. Maybe I just want it to smell like cherries. I don't know. And I think I got this from Ulta, but I'm on the Sephora website, and this has 4.8 stars out of 5. That is really fucking good. The website says this is a palette with sexy vibes that's more tart than sweet, with 12 all new shades ranging from ivory and rose gold to black cherry. Every shade in this eyeshadow palette is made from Urban Decay's mind-blowing formula, which gives each one its velvety texture, rich color, and blendability. Urban Decay especially loves the shade Bling, a deep mauve matte that's right on trend, and they can't get enough of Drunk Dial, the perfect metallic burgundy shade to create a smoky eye look. And just like usual, you get a full-size mirror and a double-ended dildo. No, wait, that's not right. A double-ended brush. And this palette is formulated without parabens, sulfates, or phthalates, but I don't see anywhere about it being cruelty-free. Is it not? Like, it doesn't have the little animal logo on it anywhere. Let me just Google this. Okay, so on their website, they do say Urban Decay is a cruelty-free brand, so yay! Looking at the reviews, there are 0 1 stars, 0 2 stars, and 0 3 stars. Like, holy shit. I mean, there are only, what, like 30-something reviews so far, but still nobody doesn't like it out of that? I am impressed. The lowest review, which is 4 stars, says buy it. What a great palette. You really have to work with the product to get the desired pigment, then why is it a great palette? If it's a good palette, you shouldn't have to do jack shit to get the desired pigment. I'm moving to the next review. I do love this palette, but it's definitely not as vibrant as I was expecting. Still, the shades are gorgeous, but be sure to use a primer. I am so confused because these 4-star reviews are saying they love the look, but then once I actually read it, they're kind of bitching about the product. Like, a lot of people are saying this palette is really difficult to work with, the colors just aren't that great, and it's not at all beginner friendly. Then why the fuck would you give it 4 out of 5 stars? So confused. Other 4-star reviewers are saying that no matter how they use this palette, it always ends up looking like they used the Naked Heat palette, yet it's still worth a buy. I don't think people are understanding this whole numbering system. There's a lot of fallout, otherwise the palette is perfect, even for yellowish or darker skin tones. Perfect for fall. Ooh, maybe that's why I like it so much, because fall is just around the corner. The 5-star reviews are saying it's their new favorite palette, such an amazing array of colors, and they're so pigmented. They love the versatility of it. You can create several looks. The quality is on point, but they do warn that some of the lighter shimmers are a little bit sheer, so I'm not sure what to think. Normally I go in these reviews in case there's little tips and tricks that'll make this palette work better, but I didn't really get much from this. And despite the fact that people seem to be confused over the fact that you don't give a product you hate 4 stars, I'm still very excited to try this. So let's go ahead and swatch and do a look with this little bitch. You guys know the song. Are you ready? It's swatching time. Okay, hold the fuck up. I actually just took this out of the case, and holy hell, this packaging is stunning. Like, it's acrylic, but this top has like multiple layers to it, so there's like 3D cherries and then an overlay of textured writing. Oh my god, that is nice. Like, bloody hell, Urban Decay, you are killing it with this packaging. Shit. God, I'm trying to do the thumbnail, but this little bitch does not photograph well. There we go, kind of. This also has a really nice weight to it. Like, even though it's just acrylic, it feels heavy and durable. Like, even if I drop this, I feel like it would be totally fine. But let's go ahead and see what we're working with. Oh, I'm gonna be honest here, and these colors on the front look nothing at all like these colors. Oh dear, and one seems to be a little bit beaten up, honey. You have seen some better days, haven't you? I mean, the palette is pretty, but it definitely looks kind of muted and almost washed out. I don't know if it'll transfer that way on camera, but in person, it's just very meh. Like, I was so excited for that color right there, Privacy. On the picture, it just looks so deep and gorgeous, but where is that in here? There's Privacy in the palette, which when I look at my monitor, it kind of looks the same, but in person, it just looks like a deep brown. Well, that's kind of a bummer. Why the hell is it so damn dirty? Like, what has this been through? You know what, though? Even though this baby is a little bit ashy and a little bit disheveled, I'm still excited to try it. I just wish for once, though, that brands would come out with palettes that actually look like how they're depicted. Anyways, I did prime my hand with some Smashbox primer, and before we do actual swatches, I just want to feel a couple of these. Go in with Hot Spot. Ooh, that's got some nice pigmentation to it. Maybe some feels. Ooh, that's really fucking buttery. Let's do some Devilish. That's very nice nice as well. And then let's do one of the shimmers. Let's do Young Love. Ooh, that is very nice feeling. A bit patchy though, not gonna lie. Ooh. Those are very, very pretty, but very, very dusty. And I do always up the saturation of my videos so I don't look so washed out, so they probably look perfectly fine to you, but in person, they just aren't vibrant. Don't get me wrong though, they're not ugly. Like, they are really pretty shades, they just aren't popping. So let's go ahead and do actual swatches of this. First up, we have Hotspot, Caution, Bang Bang, and Feels, and like I said before, the colors are very, very pretty, but for some reason, they're also kind of on the patchy side. Especially that shimmer, like, it just doesn't want to lay down, even though I did apply some primer. I love that shimmery color though, like, it goes from kind of like a pink to a gold. It's so stunning. And like always, we really can't base a whole lot off of these swatches. Like, what really matters is how they perform on a brush. But swatching wise, the colors are pretty, but I'm just not that impressed yet. Next up, we have Juicy, Turn On, Ambitious, and Bangin'. Oh my god, I love the shit out of these. Like, this is what I'm talking about. I do kind of feel like the lighter shades are a tad bit on the unimpressive side, but now that we're getting deeper, I'm really loving these. Color-wise, are they anything unique in the least? No, not at all, but they feel so damn amazing. And the two metallics are not patchy at all. They went on so smoothly, and they look stunning. Yes, I do wish Bang had a little bit more oomph to it, but I'm hoping that you could probably build it up on the eyes. And finally, we have Devilish, Young Love, Drunk Dial, and Privacy, and these are pretty, but I'm just so disappointed in Privacy. Like, I really wanted it to be a deep purple. Drunk Dial goes on beautifully, but Young Love, it is kind of patchy. Like, it keeps wanting to flake off my hand. No clue why, and Devilish is kind of on the patchy side. I just don't know how I feel about these. If we were basing this palette just off swatches alone, I'd be like, shut the fuck up, get out of here. But it's not really fair to do that, so let's go ahead and try these on the eyes. For foundation, I'm going in with some Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin in the shade Y245, which is probably going to be too light for me and too yellow. But what's new on this channel? We'll try it out and see. Alright, I feel like that shade is somewhat on the okay side. I do look a little bit like an unripened piece of corn though. Whatever, for concealer, I'm going in with Tarte's Creaseless Concealer in the shade Light. And I do remember one of the reviews saying there was a little bit of fallout, so I'm going to go ahead and put some Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder under my eyes to catch that fallout. To prime the eyes, I'm going in with Kat Von D's Color Correcting Primer in the shade Light. And then to set that primer and create a nice light and even base, I'm taking a fluffy brush and dipping it in a hot spot. Ooh, damn, I am very, very lightly tapping into that, and there is so much fallout right there. Like, can you see that? Holy shit. Oh, okay, bye. Okay, I guess we can't really tap out the brush, so let me pick up a little bit more. Maybe kind of tap the pigment into the fibers. All right, let's go ahead and place that all over the eye from lid to brow. Ooh, that actually does have a really good pigment to it. Shit. Like, it's creating a nice creamy white base for us. Even if it does have a fuck ton of fallout, that is pretty. And with these fluffy brushes, you never really know if it's the formula or the brush that's doing the damage, because sometimes the bristles are just too hard for the eyeshadow. All right, now that we have a good little base coat on there, with that same brush, I'm gonna dip into Juicy. That one actually has a lot less fallout, so maybe it's just that lighter shade. But I'm gonna take that and run it all along the crease line back and forth. Ooh, that's a really pretty color. I don't think you can quite see it yet, but in person, it's a beautiful pinky shade. I very much like it. But let's go ahead and keep taking that back and forth. Oh, I love when people wear just a little tiny bit of pink on their eyes. It really helps your eyes look soft and natural, and there really isn't any eye color that it doesn't complement. Next, on that same brush, let's dip into Feels. And I'm just gonna pat that into the lower part of the crease. Oh my god, that is beautiful too. And these don't look patchy at all on the eyes, so that's nice. Oh, but those are blending out so fucking magnificently. Oh shit, we are probably gonna end up using every fucking shade in this palette. So next up, on a new brush, I'm dipping into Bing. And I'm gonna start by tapping that onto the outer corner and go about halfway into the eye. Ooh, that's pretty too. I don't know how this looks on camera, but in person, you can see all three shades that I've laid down so far. Like, they're really not blending into each other and turning all muddy. And for someone who likes to use a fuck ton of shades like myself, I really appreciate that. Next, on the lower part of the eyelid, I'm gonna go in with some Devilish. And I don't know if it's the brush that I used or the actual shade, but this one did have some serious fallout. And it's going on a bit kind of ashy, or maybe not ashy, just not as colorful as it looks in the pan. Maybe it needs layered up. Let's go ahead and apply a little bit more. I'm gonna go back in and dust a little bit of Juicy right along those crease edges. And then on the outer corner of the eye, let's take some Privacy. And then just kind of tap it on the outer V of the eye. My goodness, this shade does not want to lay down at all. Like, I've had to dip into this like 10 times. And just to deepen up the crease, I'm gonna slowly kind of work it about halfway into the crease and kind of push it back. Then for the lower lash, let's start with a little bit of Bing. And I'm just gonna smoke that back and forth all along the lower lash line. And let's also smoke out a tiny bit of Devilish. And with that shade, I'm only gonna go in about halfway, and in a C motion, I'm gonna connect the top lash to the lower lash. For some reason, this just is not laying down on my lower lash very well at all. Like, it's missing in big chunks. Like, do you see that right there? I have no fucking clue if I'm doing something wrong. Like, I put primer all over my eye. Then with a small fluffy brush, I'm gonna dip into Juicy and Feels. I'm gonna take that and just run it all along that lower lash line. Wait a second, this eye, it looks so patchy. I'm like, right there it's missing right there. Ooh, it's also missing right there where my little eye flap folds down. Like, do you see that, or am I just like cat shit crazy? I'm pretty sure it's splotchy. I'm not quite sure what to do. Maybe I should try blending it out a little bit more? Fuck, I don't know. You know what, I'm just gonna leave it like that. Maybe putting on a shimmer will help? We'll see. I'm gonna take a damp brush and dip into Bang Bang. And let's start on the inner corner of the eye and start to work it towards the middle. Ooh, that is very pretty. It is on the very, very subtle side though, but I don't necessarily mind that. And honestly, no matter how much I apply, it really doesn't stick on that great. Like, I did use a wet brush, but why the fuck isn't it working? Maybe let's try some of Young Love and kind of place it over that. Ooh, that's really pretty. But it's still just a little bit kind of patchy, like it keeps breaking off my eye and just falling off. A little bit confused about that. But I totally see what people were saying in the reviews, where this is definitely not a beginner-friendly palette. Not that I'm a beginner in makeup, but I always try to approach these reviews from an everyday person's standpoint. And so far, I would have to say that this probably is not the everyday person's kind of palette. Like, you might struggle a little bit with it. I'm gonna go ahead and wet another brush. Ooh, and with that, I'm gonna dip into Turn On. And let's place that right on the inner corner to give it a nice highlight. I had a shit ton on the brush, but it doesn't really seem to be doing a whole lot. Like, there's a little bit of highlight, but for the amount that I put on this brush, bitch, we should glow. Let's just keep packing it on. And I mean, when you do kind of pack it on, it does start to look really, really pretty, but you have to use half the fucking pan. Okay. Well, you know, that is probably as good as we're gonna get it. I would have loved to have seen like a blinding shimmer that I could put on my lids to really help the eyes pop, but we didn't get that. And it's not like this is a bad look. Like, in person, it is so freaking pretty. I just wish there was something, and I don't know what. I think maybe we need a little bit of black, so I'm gonna take some black on the waterline and kind of smoke it in between the lashes. And then I'm also gonna tightline the upper lash as well. Yes, Ron, you have a beautiful voice. Sing it, honey. For blush, I'm dipping into Carities. Yes. Yes. And for highlighter as a base, I'm going into Wet n Wild's Hello Halo Goddess Glow. Oh, fuck me, that's pretty. Then over that, I'm taking some Juvia's Place Royalty 2 Loose Highlighter. Oh, fuck. Since there really wasn't that much of a highlighter shade in the palette, let's kind of take that under the brow bone as well. And then for lips, I'm gonna mix LA Girl's Glitter Magic in the shade Glitz and Champagne Fizz. And here we are with the final look. My eyelash is fucking wonky today. Holy hell. Also, it looks like I was just blowing Kesha's backup dancer, because look at how glittery these lips are. Oh, I love them. What I don't know that I love is this eyeshadow. It's not like it's uncomfortable. It blended out amazingly, but it is a little bit patchy, and the color selection is honestly not the best. I did use quite a few of the shadows, and it really doesn't look muddy. I do think the look still is really pretty, but what worries me is the fact that even though I did lay primer down underneath my eye and up here, the shadow just wouldn't stick down no matter how much I apply. And I do wish this palette had that deep plummy color like how it looks on the packaging, because I'm kind of missing that deep quality, especially because, at least for me, the light shimmer didn't really apply that great, so there's not a dark and light contrast. It's not like every look of mine has to have that, but I do like that because it really accentuates the shape of my eyes. But still, I do think we got there. I do really like this look. It came together really nicely. Not that there's anything wrong with this lipstick, but during the wear time test, I do want to kind of see what this would look like with either a nude or like a really bold red, because I feel like the lips are kind of loud, but when I go like that, oh, I fucking love it. Like, oh, fierce, bitch. So I am gonna go ahead and do a wear time test. I will see you in just a second. And we are back. So much for a nude lip. I did switch it out for CoverGirl's Infamous, and I love the way the shadow and the lips look together. Like, yes, bitch. Anyways, we did just hit the 5.5 hour mark, and I do think the eyes did kind of fade a little. Like, I still think they're pretty, they're just not as vibrant. Maybe I'm crazy, but that's just what I think. As for comfortability, is that a word? I don't know, but the shadows are very, very comfortable. My eyes do not burn. They don't feel tired or sleepy or heavy at all. The only thing that I wish is that this just had a bigger range to it. Like, yes, I do think the look we created is pretty, but I don't really know how many looks you'll be able to get out of this, because with what you're given, you really don't have the option to mix it up that much. I don't know, I'm torn, because yes, the colors are pretty, but no, they're not at all vibrant. You do kind of have to pack a lot on and really work it around, and some of them are a little bit splotchy, at least on me, and you don't really get a hearty deep shade to go glam with, nor do you get a hearty light shade that you can contrast what deep shades you do get. Yes, Turn On is a lighter shade, but for some reason it just didn't apply to my eye correctly. Maybe I had to use my finger instead of a damp brush, because when I swatch it, it does go on really nicely, even though it is a little bit chunky and patchy. I don't know, because I do like the way the look turned out, and I did really like the pinks. I thought they were so pretty, but I don't know that this palette is really something that you need. Like, I think there's so many other Urban Decay palettes that are way better than this one that you probably could create very similar looks with. This palette, I don't want to say it's bad quality, but it just doesn't seem as consistent as their other palettes. Like, one matte shadow is really good and blends out and looks amazing. The next matte shadow doesn't want to apply in certain areas, and really the same goes for some of the shimmers. Like, some of them just want to crumble off, but others will stick to literally anything. And I have no idea if that's related to how I applied it. I'm sure I fucked something up somewhere. So, do I recommend it? Honestly, I can't say yes or no. Like, if you like these colors, you're probably not gonna be disappointed. Just make sure that you use a shit ton of primer and use a really good primer, because even on me, it was a little bit patchy. If you have colors that are similar to these, even if it's like every third shadow in here, you'll probably still be able to create the same looks. I'm not gonna say don't go out and grab it, because it's not a terrible product, but do I think it's worth the price? No. I think you could definitely do better with other Urban Decay palettes. Oh, but that glow though! Fuck me in the Target home department. That is some good shit. Anyways, there you go. I'm so sorry I couldn't give you more of a definite answer, but I'm kinda on the fence with this one. Anyways, there you go. Like always, please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell down below so that you're notified anytime I upload a new video. Don't forget my newest collection of highlighters, including Black Ice, which does change from black to white, is available at thepoplex.com. Also, my latest album, Kiss of Fame, is available everywhere online that music is sold. Thank you so much to everyone who's supporting them. Comment down below, let me know what you thought of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at officialnady, and you can follow me online at thepoplex.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you again soon. Bye.